Number 4, length. This can be a game changer because sometimes the platform determines the length, sometimes it's the audience, but it usually is the idea you're trying to get across will help you figure out how long should this be, how long is too long, I'm going to lose them, they're not going to stick with this, it's too short, I didn't give them enough value, whatever it might be. So don't default to a long video simply because I'm going to put this on YouTube. Yes, there are different kinds of videos on YouTube, and what people are doing now is they're separating it into 2 different channels, my short videos and my long videos. But the trap is short because it's a reel instead of asking what the message requires. Short just simply might not be enough. What it really comes down to is use the short reels to catch their attention and then say, okay, now head on over to my long form videos if you want to learn more. That works better than trying to sell them immediately on something that's too long before they even know whether they want to invest the time. So some ideas come out to be like a 30-second gut punch. Bam! And it's like, wow. But some need a much longer period, 12 minutes, 15 minutes or more, because you have to dig in to get that trust factor going. So how long should it take to earn the payoff? If you're teasing something and dragging it out to make it a certain length, people are going to give up on it. It's going to be like, you could have done that in 15 seconds. Why'd you make me stay a minute and a half? You'd be surprised how much of a difference it makes, especially at the end. Don't drag out your CTA. Bam, go. Because people, if they don't finish the video, it changes the algorithms, believe it or not. The platform will see that as a failure. They didn't get to the end of the video. Well, it's because you kind of babbled. You ran on and on when you should have just cut it short. So that's something to consider. All right. So keep it under 60 seconds if we're talking social media. Longer than that, you're going to lose people. And you just get your hook in place and then your CTA. What do you want them to do after they watch this short video? Where do you want to take them? So AI writes differently when you tell it that. Tell it how long you want this to be and the purpose. What are you trying to get them to do with this particular content? It absolutely makes a difference. So your quick drill before you draft, decide, does this idea need seconds, room to build to a conclusion, to hook the audience in a different way? Depends on what you're going to ask them to do after the video is over. Don't let AI decide this for you. As I said, it overwrites. It'll just keep going on and on and on, and people are not going to sit around for this. At least not unless they know, oh, this is a tutorial. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit longer, but it's worth it. I want to learn. So look at the difference between, is this something you would clock on a stopwatch, or is this a saga that seems to be never ending? Get that decided and tell AI before you ask it to generate anything. Now, number 5, the cold hook. You got to get this right because it's a trap otherwise. It has to be something that AI gives you that's going to make people stop scrolling, grab their eyeballs. Because if they don't like the hook, meaning the first thing you say in the video, or you could be thinking about it as a thumbnail hook, meaning what they see before they even click to watch the video. Those 2 hooks are essential, especially if it's a video. So how do you get past this? Well, you don't just ask it, again, for general content. I can tell you, I have struggled with my AI tools, and I've tried many different ones saying, look, I want something edgy, funny, something that's going to grab them. And it gives me a laundry list of very generic, literal titles. So I tell it, go back and try again. This would not make me stop. It's not going to make anybody else stop. So you have to give it a taste, a flavor that you want it to capture. So start with your raw draft and then say, sharpen this. Don't get upset if when it delivers a list or gives you the content, if the first time around it's like, oh, this is awful. Now, you can go to a different AI. They do have different approaches. I dare to say that they have different personalities. You work with the one that seems to get you and knows the most about you, but understand that this is a process. They can get it on the first shot sometimes, but other times it's going to be, oh boy, all right, deep breath, let me try again. And then give it the content. Take the content, copy and paste it back in and say, can you please take this and tell it what more you needed to do? Because otherwise it's just going to keep going on the same track because it doesn't know which direction to take. So it just grabs something out there and throws it at you and hope it sticks. You have to shape it and craft it yourself like an artist would. All right. So AI is your editor. You are the author. We sometimes get that backwards. You have to take on both of those roles, actually. Once you've started the process by writing the original material or giving it a prompt to work from, then you keep recrafting it until you get the thing you're really looking for. So what I want you to do as an experiment, if you have the time, is write 5 bad hooks. In other words, 5 short phrases that you would put on your either the thumbnail slide, which people look at and they see before they decide to watch the video, or once the video starts, or the thumbnail for the video if you put it on YouTube, that kind of thing. And pick the best one and then ask AI one more time, give it this kind of a feel or whatever, or can you sharpen it, or give me more options along the same lines. Because AI gets better as it goes along if you give it a chance. Usually, though, the first time around is like, whoa, what was that? You got to help it along. Give it instructions. It's like when kids are off for the summer and they're sitting around doing nothing and they don't know what to do. And mom or dad say, go outside and play. You know what that means. They're either going to stay inside and watch video games or play video games, or they're going to get themselves into some kind of mischief or go in the completely wrong direction because they have no guidance. Think of AI as a child that needs specific rules and guidance, and it will work miracles for you if it gets what it needs from you. And finally, the next action, your call to action. What do you want people to do after they have looked at your social media posts? They have watched your short or long video. They've seen your presentation. Don't just leave them hanging and don't say, well, thank you so much for attending and I hope you enjoy. No. Specific directions. If you tell them nothing, they will do nothing. You'll lose them. You just gave it to them. You gave them all this value and they walked away. You accomplished very little. So you have to decide what is the next step. So you want to match your ask, the thing you're asking them to do at this point, to the stage in the funnel in your mind or in reality. So there's 3 kinds of audience: cold, warm, and hot. If it's a cold audience, they know virtually nothing about you. You got to work a little harder to kind of introduce yourself. So would you want them to now, if they saw a video, watch another video? If they saw the short video, watch the long video? What's the next step? And don't jump too far down the road because they're not ready for it. Don't offer them something and you want them to buy it. Some people can get away with that because they've got the name recognition and the incredible brand. Most of us can't do it that way. Okay? So maybe the next step for them would be just follow my page. And then you keep providing value. You keep filling your social media platforms. If it's a warm audience, they've become a little familiar with you. Maybe they've seen your posts before or seen you talk at an event, whatever it might be. So this is where you would say, comment, give them a keyword, something very simple and easy to type, and say, I'm going to send this to you and you can download it. That works really well because now they've taken action. That is a big step. It's not easy, but this is where you want to take them next. So you would give them at that point another video, a PDF, whatever it might be. But they're getting a gift, but it's also giving them more to latch on to see, do I want to deal with this person? Do I like what they're offering me? Now, if you got a hot audience, you've done all this already. They're hooked, but they still haven't taken that big step. So what would that be? It could be book a call. It could be buy a product, but be careful. Don't do that too soon. I mean, I've seen and I've actually bought products from people I have no knowledge of. Usually lived to regret it because I just didn't know enough about them and it looked great, but it didn't turn out to be what I thought it was. So for me, after I go through this whole process, what I do sometimes is say, join my Digital Warrior Power Circle. It could be a subscription, a membership, that kind of thing. Maybe a low ticket so that it doesn't feel too intimidating. That's when you would start to ask for something bigger. Let's talk. Buy my product or join my community or something like that. So if you see the image on the right, my top of the mountain is either join my power circle or, let's work together one-on-one, whatever it might be. But don't skip the steps. Don't jump over all the rocks because they're not ready yet. If they are, they'll reach out to you. So take smaller steps, depending upon where you think your audience is, and then they will climb that road. They will take that path. So it could be subscribe, it could be almost anything, but every step moves them closer to whatever the big goal you have for that person or that member of the audience. So what I want you to do for your final quick drill is write an instruction, not a suggestion. Comment toolbox, and that would work. So in other words, give them a keyword and then tell them, and I'm going to give you got to promise something and then deliver it and make it as simple as possible, that they get it right back in that social media platform. Emailing is okay, but people hesitate. They don't want to give out their emails to get something. So it's better if, I'll send it right back to you, through Facebook, through Instagram, whatever. That they'll go for, because the worst that happens is you have their username, but they don't feel like they've given away too much personal information. Not let me know what you think. You could try that, but I wouldn't do that if you're really trying to move them forward, because A, they don't have the time, B, they don't feel like doing it, so you get almost no engagement. And that's a suggestion, not a request, not an instruction like it would come from, for example, a teacher. Teachers don't say, what do you think? Maybe. You want to do some homework tonight? No. Your homework tonight is, think of it that way. So I hope you found this valuable. And keep coming back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be filling it with value. Follow me on social media. See, there, I just gave you an instruction. Stick with me, and I'm going to just keep taking you down that road for your ability to find your audience and get them over the finish line.